What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about ostinatos. So what is an ostinato? Well, essentially it's like a musical pattern that repeats over and over and kind of sets up the rest of the composition. Now, an ostinato can be something that's really audible, like it could be a rhythmic pattern that's heard regularly, or it could be something more in the background to just drive the movement forward, you know? And I like using ostinatos in both scenarios personally. But let's quickly talk about the nitty gritty of, how to build one. So let's just say we're in the key of F major, right? And, the ostinato is just so flexible because it can go up, it can go down, it can be rhythmically, it can have a lot of variety in the rhythm. It could be a constant stream of 16th notes, 8th notes, whatever you want, as long as that pattern repeats over and over. Generally, you'll have an ostinato that repeats, every bar or so. Sometimes every like 2 bars, but usually half a bar is quite typical for an ostinato. So let me just show you an example. Let's say we're in the key of F, so that would be the F major scale. And I'm actually going to show you this violence ostinato patch, not patch, but I'll show you the track I did here. I'm going to extend it a little bit here in Logic so you can see actually where it takes place. Here we go. So this is, let me play the section as the entire orchestra, and then I'll solo the ostinato, and then you can hear what it's doing. So all right, here we go. So here you can see the ostinato is going to start right there, but I'm just going to start just before that. Great. So here you see I've actually got 2 tracks of violin ostinato. So let me solo both of these and show you what's happening here. So now I'm in the key of D flat major. So first I have this run of a D flat major scale going up and then all the way back down. And then I have the same thing but starting on the subdominant and going back down to the subdominant. Now here I just have a scale run going from the D flat major scale going up and back down over and over. Okay, and that last part, you heard this. That's basically just doing the first 5 notes of the A flat major scale, kind of like this. Oops, sorry, let me unmute that so it sounds like this so I can demonstrate. Go back up to this track here. I'm basically just going, so I'm doing a 5-note pattern that goes up and down and then it repeats over and over. Now, ostinatos can also be in like broken chords. They can be scale runs. They can be fifths, even octaves apart. It really doesn't really matter, but it's a kind of a repetitive pattern, right? So let me try a broken chord pattern. And I'm changing chords at the same time. But basically, that's the idea. You just have a pattern that goes up and down, and then it repeats. It could also be 3 notes long, like... it's something that just repeats over and over. It gives this rhythmic motion that just drives the piece forward. And I'm doing this all with a legato patch, by the way. So if I was doing it with a staccato patch or a staccatissimo, then it would be like, you could have a driving thing there. But it's really determined by like the time signature that you're in. So if you're in a triple time signature, like 6/8 or something, then most probably it would be like 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. And if it's duple time, then it's like 1E and a 2E and a 1E and a 2E and a 1. So it's like 16th notes, sometimes even slower, like 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 1, whatever it is. That's the whole concept of the ostinato, and I like using them especially in like passages of excitement and there's a lot of stuff going on. Let me just erase this here. And I'd like to do it mainly in the strings because the strings are very flexible and very nimble, so they can do fast stuff quite easily. You just don't want to make it overly difficult with like tons of octave leaps and things like that. Keep it relatively simple. So I like to do things within 1 octave. It could be going by steps or sometimes even skips, but just making sure that it blends in well with the rest of the piece. One other consideration to have is if your ostinato sometimes causes dissonance with the chord of the moment. For example, if I'm playing a D flat major chord, but the ostinato is outlining a G flat major chord, it's not a huge deal because usually ostinato is kind of in the background and it's kind of going really quickly. That little bit of tension that you get between the ostinato and the chord can actually be a very nice touch. So it's all a subjective thing. Like if you like how that clash sounds, then I would say keep it. But if you want to keep it more consonant and keep the ostinato more hidden in a way so that it matches the chord very well, then you can change it. But the overall concept of the ostinato is just to drive your music forward. And that is a very, very powerful tool that is especially evident in like action music and trailer music, that type of thing. So hopefully that makes sense. I just wanted to show an example of how I do it in my pieces. So if you have any questions, please leave it in the comments below. I really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in tomorrow's quick tip. Have a great day. Bye-bye.